pleasure to be with you today. I am Rajan Palam, and welcome to the culminating activity of Master of Library and Information Science students of Benguet State University under the subject Professional Ethics for Library and Information Science. This subject aims to equip students to ascertain a basis for formulating own ethical guidelines within the broad limits of professional codes and divergent theoretical positions. It also aims to raise what is considered to be critical issues, present a range of views on these issues, discuss our positions, and provide with many opportunities to refine our thinking and actively develop our own positions. Professional Code of Ethics is a standard set of norms defining how professionals should behave in their respective profession. We have created some questions to get the insights on how far professional ethics is being observed in the librarianship profession and in the workplace as well. I bet you are ready, and let's listen to the insights of the students enrolled in the subject on the following questions.
Hi, I'm Wilma, a librarian in an academic library at Kawayan City, Isabela. I can still recall my first year working as a librarian. Some students would ask me with questions like, may course po pala na ganyan? Librarian po talaga ang natapos ninyo? Ma'am, nabasa niyo po ba lahat ng libro dito? And akala kasi namin ang librarian tagabantay ng library at nagpapatahimik ng mga maiingay. These students are not aware with the degree Bachelor of Library and Information Science, and they are not aware with the job of a librarian. There are lots of misconceptions and stereotypical image portrayals of librarians. I read in one article that the professional image of librarians is influenced by the representations of media and images in the general public's imagination. There was this commercial of 𝘕𝘕𝘠𝘕𝘠 released in 2006, and the setting is in a library. If you have watched it, the librarian is portrayed wearing glasses with her hair in a bun while she is stamping books. For some who don't understand the role and nature of work of librarians in the society, they think that librarians don't do anything and they have an easy job. But actually, librarians have many roles and responsibilities to do, but these are unnoticed. Librarians always play an essential role in research and information services. Librarians seek out opportunities to understand the user's needs and connect them with appropriate resources, helping them find their information needs. Another misconception is that librarian as a profession is a low prestige job. They think that librarians only work for academic libraries. But there are types of libraries where librarians can be employed. These are public libraries, school libraries, special libraries, museums, and archives. From previous research, most working librarians are females. But now, we can observe that there are lots of male librarians. As technology advances, libraries become automated and more libraries are established. Despite the misconceptions and the stereotype image of librarians, libraries are being recognized. Libraries are featured on newspapers, local radio stations, and televisions. Like the Benguet State University Library, it was featured on the local newspaper 𝘵𝑗𝑚𝑒𝑑𝑙𝑎N Courier and on ABS-CBN's television program 𝘵𝑗𝐈𝐒. Libraries are partnered with organizations, and librarians are invited to join and as guest speakers on seminars. Also, they collaborate with other librarians to create programs for the improvement of library services.
I'm Maureen P. Basyag, School Librarian at the Kalinga State University. When you ask anybody, what image comes to mind when they think of a librarian? And inevitably, they'll say an older woman with her hair in a tight bun, wearing glasses, a cardigan, and sensible shoes. And she usually says shh a lot. For me, librarians of today are of different age groups, affiliation, ethnicity, and gender, but the amount of respect towards each other is overwhelming. can still meet traditional librarians anywhere, but most libraries today have tech-savvy staff that will cater to whatever needs of their clients. Librarians are also gatekeepers because our job is to keep gates open to innovation, new information, and changing times. The world of information is never constant. New trends come and go, and information is always new. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit in early 2020, libraries across the world shut down their buildings to limit transmission of the virus. What did not shut down were the crucial services they provided. Instead, librarians stepped up and zeroed in on their passion to serve the public, acting as first responders and amplifying their steadfast commitment to ensure people have access to public information. To be able to reach out to our clients, we converted the physical services we offer to virtual or online platforms, reference service, document delivery, among others. Librarians during this time of crisis are very essential because many of us have continued to work tirelessly on and off site. Others have been redeployed to other areas, proving how transferable our skill set is. With the presence of digital transformation, librarians have to cope up with the changes brought about by the pandemic to continuously provide library needs and reliable information to the community it serves. Librarians became jack of all trades, from virtual assistant to content maker, just so to provide timely updates in their library social media pages, etc. We became versatile to prove our worth in the community.
This pandemic became a challenge for librarians, especially in serving users' information needs, but it also opened new opportunities for them to create new roles and new ways of delivering library services. Though libraries are close to the public, with the help of digital advances, libraries and librarians still continue their services through online platforms. Librarians work online, providing remote access to free electronic resources and support services. Promotion of library services is done via library webpage, 𝐈𝐓'𝐿, Facebook, and YouTube. Research and reference questions are done via phone calls, emails, video chats, messenger, and SMS. Print resources are delivered to users through document delivery service. Librarians are resilient and versatile because they easily adapt with the new normal ways in providing user information needs.
Hi, I'm Claire Bautista working in Bukidnon State University. Library organizations serve as the mothers of our profession. They make sure that we are well taken care of. They provide nourishment such as knowledge and give us rules to follow in order for us to be well-disciplined professionals. They are a powerful and active organization dedicated to the growth of librarianship practice and the general development of librarians. For example, the Philippine Library Association Incorporated has the aim of promoting the interest and welfare of its members while also developing quality and information service capacities. This association is always working to ensure that all practicing librarians are properly registered and linked with the organization as required by law. It carries out programs, projects, and activities that promote the growth and development of libraries, librarianship, and librarians in the country. It conducts a forum for discussing issues, challenges, and concerns that affect librarianship, the association, and its members. It also strengthens ties with local, national, and worldwide organizations, as well as partnership with government and private sector institutions and agencies. Furthermore, it conducts relevant research and publishing, as well as regular ongoing professional development activities for its members.
A professional organization is also referred to as professional association. In librarianship, library professionals form an organization to accomplish goals. This library organization supports the interests of librarians. It facilitates innovation, communication, and connection. Librarians join the association because they believe in its goal and wish to support it with active involvement and membership. They remain members because they would benefit from the organization. Library organizations offer tremendous benefit to librarians and are also a great way to gain knowledge, network, and keep on top of current news affecting the library industry. Membership in the organization also shows that you are serious about your commitment to your career. It may also be the best investment you can make for your career. Library organizations offer growth and development opportunities in the form of conferences or workshops. They also offer annual conferences. Before the pandemic, conferences were offered at various locations across the country, but now they offer webinars. Professionals can deepen their knowledge, develop their skills, and earn continuing professional development or CPD units to maintain their licenses. Members help develop leadership skills and communication skills. Library organizations offer networking opportunities that allow librarians to interact, getting together to share experiences, knowledge, and ideas on collaborative activities for the greater good. Yes, it covers the topics of ethics because library organizations set and adopt standards that are helpful guidance, guidelines, and best practices concerning the main obligations of library professionals and how professionals should behave in their respective profession.
PLI covers ethics because it is one of the most important aspects of a successful organization.
Hi, I am 𝘰𝘱𝑒𝘠𝑗𝑎𝑑𝑖𝑝𝑛𝑎G, currently working at Baguio Central University, Baguio City. I am going to answer the question, how do we do with the guidelines issued by implementing authorities? To answer the question, the Regulatory Board for Librarians have set standard or guidelines that every library must follow. These are designed to guide libraries in advancing and sustaining their roles as partners in educating students, achieving their institution's missions, and positioning libraries as leaders in assessment and continuous improvement on their campuses. Libraries must demonstrate their value and document their contributions to overall institutional effectiveness and to prepare to address the changes in higher education, including accreditation and other accountability measures. These guidelines are structured to provide a comprehensive framework using an outcome-based approach with evidence collected in ways most appropriate for each institution. Libraries are partners with some accrediting agencies like the PASCO, PACOCOA, 𝐴𝐴CO monitor the library if they have followed or implemented the rules and regulations or the guidelines they have been set. We have these we call accreditation agencies to help us identify the weakness and strength of one organization or for the improvement. The importance of accreditation is that it creates a set of quality standards for all educational institutions or programs, provide access to federal and state funding, maintains private sector confidence, and make transferring credit easier. Furthermore, accreditation aims to ensure accountability of schools and degree programs which boost public trust and confidence.
Code of Ethics for Librarians is implemented by the Professional Regulatory Board for Librarians that is adopted and taken in public by the FLI, Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, and other professional library associations including the 𝘬𝘐 and 𝘬𝘐 and other entities, private and public. Do they have the same guidelines? Those guidelines is used in creating Code of Ethics are based on Article number 2, Section 8 of the RA 9246, which is known as the Philippine Librarianship Act of 2003, which are written to adopt and prescribe a Code of Ethics and a Code of Technical Standard for librarians, and to hear and decide administrative cases involving violation of this act. It is implementing rules and regulations of the Code of Ethics or the Code of Technical Standards for librarians, and for its purpose issues sub pena ad testificatum and sub pena justicium for ensure the appearance of witnesses and the presentation of documents in connection therewith. Philippine Librarians Association Incorporated, FLI, and other professional library associations including 𝘬𝘐, the 𝘬𝘐, and other entities, private and public setting standards for the improvements and development of the librarianship profession, and their guidelines are the same because they adopted and implemented the Code of Ethics of Philippine Librarians and FLA Code of Ethics and other laws that govern the development and improvement of the librarian's profession.
Hello everyone, I'm 𝘰𝘱𝘩𝘠𝑒 and I work as a registration officer and record keeper as well at our municipality. And today, I'm going to share to you my insight regarding to what extent is the professional ethics being practiced in the librarianship. The Code of Ethics is the document that translates the values of intellectual freedom that defines the profession of librarianship into broad principles that may be used by individual members of the profession as well by others employed in a library as a framework for dealing with situations involving ethical conflicts. We recognize the importance of codifying and making known to the profession and to the general public the ethical principles that guide the works of librarians, other professionals providing information services, library trustees, and library staff. On a personal note, I do believe that professional code of ethics in the field of librarianship is being observed by librarians in all their endeavors, though there are issues sometimes where the profession is being involved, but I trust our decision makers in the due process of such act. I encourage everyone to continue upholding the ethical standards in everything that we do, even if it's very challenging or at a normal course of work. Sustaining our passion while observing ethical standards and providing our utmost effort in the provision of services amidst this pandemic just to meet the needs of our clients, and such a great act for every information professionals. A tap on your shoulder and continue the great act. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Grace 𝘱𝘕, working at Singapore International School, Thunbury, Thailand. Code of Ethics. Horace 𝘱𝘕 pointed out the Professional Association's Code of Ethics address the issues of expertise and trust, and the obligation of individual within the profession to fulfill the public's expectations of ethics and competences. Professional associations often have code of ethics that state the values and aspirations and set explicit standards for the practice of librarianship. The code is a mix of professional definition, obligation, and etiquette, which serve as an indicators of librarianship continuing efforts to establish itself among professional ranks, enhance the education of its practitioners, and expand the expectations of those that serve. First, no one can practice ethical conduct if they do not know the company's standard and applicable regulations. One way to measure the knowledge is by giving the librarian tests to determine if they have the necessary information. This works for several reasons. They focus their attention on what is being measured, making those dimensions of the code more noticeable and focal. They also signal the firm's principles and objectives. Librarians therefore use what gets measured and a signal of what the company cares about. Finally, measures once collected often get used in performance evaluation, which are indicators for professional growth and development. Though no studies show the extent of the practice, professional ethics are mainly executed in every organization. Unprofessional or dishonorable conduct is punishable by the law under Section 23 of RA 9246. Thank you.
I'm Jessica Gaspar from Baguio City Academy Colleges Incorporated. The degree Bachelor of Library and Information Science is a 4-year program that prepares students in the development, deployment, and management of information resources in print, non-print, electronic, and digital formats. The program trains students to apply information technology to basic library operations and functions, to systematically organize, conserve, and preserve information objects, historical and cultural documents, and other intellectual properties, to harness bibliographical and online tools to support teaching, learning, research, and other services. The program includes topics on the basic principles and fundamental laws of library science, as well as the appropriate use of information resources. It also teaches essential skills in the integration of information technology and management information systems for effective organization, use, delivery of learning resources, and services. Professional ethics subject is not included under the LIS curriculum, but it is being offered under the master's program. On a personal note, I think it should also be offered in the undergraduate subjects because as they say, habang maaga pa, matutunan na nila. Though this is integrated in some of their subjects, at least there should be a subjects concentrating on the aspects of ethical implications, comparisons, and development within the profession. I believe the undergraduate serves as a training ground where we can learn theoretical concepts as well as principles and fundamental laws in library science. Ethics serves as a guide to moral daily living and helps us assess whether our behavior, as well as the behavior of the people around us, is ethical. It also prepares the future librarians and reminds the practicing librarians on what is right and what is wrong in their own respective jobs and workplace as well. That's all. Thank you very much and have a good day.
As a library and information science is an interdisciplinary field that applies their practices, perspectives, tools of management, information technology, communication, and other areas of librarianship. The collection, organization, preservation, and dissemination of information resources. Because librarians are inclined mostly to human-oriented services, we must have the moral responsibility of providing the services and responding to the needs of able patrons efficiently and effectively. When I took up the undergraduate program, ethics was not included in the subjects where I had a big adjustment and having no idea of what this is all about. Ethics is an important element of professional training for undergraduate programs. In the field of librarian information science, the inclusion of ethics in the curriculum can help in the advancement of virtuous work in our respective workplace, either private or public. Professional ethics is one of the subjects of both undergraduate and graduate programs and substantiate the practice of the profession. The subject will prepare future information experts and can also be a basis for making ethical decisions, both personal and professional, and applying ethical solutions to problems and issues we may encounter in the future workplaces. The ethics as a subject in the undergraduate program can also serve as an introductory or means in understanding basic knowledge and principles of ethics. I think this can also serve as a reminder and guide for every practicing librarian in taking proper decisions to every problems that arises. Also, it helps to enhance your level of professional being and fulfilling the expectations of users, thereby upholding it helps them enhance their level of professional being and fulfilling the expectations of users, thereby upholding high level of values as they sustain their passion within the bounds of librarianship profession.
Competencies generally refer to the necessary knowledge, skills, and abilities required to perform professional tasks. And the most needed competency for a librarian is to be competent in the use of technology. Libraries now are adopting and moving towards information technology. Thus, librarians must have technology competencies to contribute to the overall effectiveness of the organization, whether they are behind the scenes or working and interacting with people. With the presence of technology, the typical job of a librarian has changed. Librarians are no longer solely responsible in finding books, but is beyond that. The must-have competencies are definite knowledge and understanding on the functions of a computer, knowledge and uses of the Internet and the World Wide Web, proficiency in Microsoft and Google Suite applications, knowledge on the basic structure, content, and use of an integrated library system, able to perform basic information search techniques, use search engines, web directories, and online database to find quality resources, possess information retrieval skills in obtaining information to restore data in the computer. Knowledge of how digital resources are acquired, managed, and accessed, knowledge of the major trends in web development, including online social networking tools being used to promote the library, ability to evaluate information for quality and credibility, investigates emerging technologies for their potential to enhance delivery of information and services through the web, ability to select, organize, disseminate, and maintains the library's collection of digital resources, knowledge on the intellectual property rights, fair use, and copyrights, and providing the right interventions when the need arises as far as library services are concerned. But as technology aids us in our profession, let us not forget the ethical principles we adhere to.
Hi, I'm Jonilita Miguel from Hope Christian Academy. Character is the real foundation of a worthwhile success. That is according to John Hayes Hammond. character that reflects an individual's thought, action, and habit, which will affect its environment either negative or positive. Therefore, as professionals, we need to choose positive character to be of influence and to convey success in our workplace. The Global Leadership Center says that we seem to instinctively know what success is because most of us strive to be just that, successful. Thus, everyone has its own perception on what success is. But for me, being successful needs right character to achieve our goals. Moving on, in my opinion, the most needed competencies of a librarian is trustworthiness and first, trustworthiness because it builds quality relationships and being able to work together. In applying for a job according to 𝘕𝑗𝑜b team, trust is vital for a business or organization to function properly, not only for client-staff relationships, but also relationship between employees. As a result, interviewers often ask questions that reveal certain aspects of your personality, often testing your morality and ethics. This would signify that our personality or behavior towards other people matters most. Second, ethics. These are principles that guide us to make a positive impact through our decisions and actions. I believe it was included in all professions because it plays an important role and its crucial implications not only in our personal lives but also in our workplace. So we are encouraged to make ethical choices and apply ethics in all areas of our lives. Therefore, I could say that in our profession, we need to possess these competencies. As I agree with 𝘕𝑗𝑜, saying that I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Doing our best as librarians in providing services to our clients, either simple or great, with the right motives, and especially doing it for God's glory, will definitely help.
As we grow, our parents always remind us of what is wrong and what is right. But despite this, I admit that sometimes I can't avoid some situations wherein I have done some unethical behavior. When I enrolled in Masters in Library Information Science and took this subject, Professional Ethics, it made me realize that ethics is important in our daily lives because it serves as our guide. It helps us in making our decisions that can contribute to the common good of all. While taking this subject, I can see that it's difficult to imagine a society in which there are no codes of conduct or ways of assessing what is desirable and undesirable. Through this subject, I had a deeper understanding and knowledge on the code of ethics for librarians. It helped me understand the importance of guidelines as to how we deal with the persons and how we should act accordingly as a professional and as a part of the community we serve.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebel and I'm the librarian of Tan British School located here in Thailand. Professional ethics. Professional ethics is a new music to my ears when I started taking MLIS, and I was curious about its course description and the reason behind its inclusion to LIS studies. The key learning I gleaned in taking the course is the sense of assimilating insights on the values, principles, and morals that shape our professional life. As we carefully reflected, evaluated, and grasped ideas, I have realized that we are not just basically motivated by self-interest and norms professionally, but also by codified statements of the profession we belong to. Reminiscing from the class sessions, the points I will always remember are answering the questions, "Is such a practice admirable?" and "What is your stand?" Through the sessions, it is undeniable to say that we all learn to develop skills in articulating our own values and the moral principles we ought to live by. Learning professional ethics also revolve around ethical dilemmas various professionals face in their respective work environment. As a professional librarian, ethics in our field is inescapable, most especially that we are bound to work with and for others in order for us to fulfill our purpose of providing information. Our discussions about some dilemmas in the field of librarianship and other professions resulted in an expanded awareness of the moral values of others. In addition, we gained chances to think, assess, and question whether the values and practices in our society are acceptable or not. We also learned to provide reasons to our fellow professionals for our actions and the morals we believe in with regards to ethical issues. Apart from the theories and practice discussions during our class sessions, the task evaluations and activities given emboldened me to always strive for highest standards and keep learning what was expected with the attitude 𝑘𝐿 as recommended in the course guide. It was really challenging to work during weekdays and take further studies on a weekend, especially since it's pandemic and everyone has their own battle personally and professionally. I may have been lost on track, but with these insights, I could truly proudly say at the end of the semester, I did it. We did it very well. Thank you.
Hello, I'm 𝐷𝘱𝘩𝘁, and I'm working at 𝘓𝑚 Foundation Library. I'm going to share with you my learning insights in taking the course Professional Ethics. Ethics is generally what we know as good and the bad, whether they are decisions and actions that we do, whether you are a student or a professional, learned or illiterate, rich or poor, and young or old. But to differentiate ethics from morals, ethics refers to the rules that are provided by an external source such as Professional Code of Ethics for librarians and many other code of ethics for different professions, while moral is someone's own principle of what is right and wrong. Now, professional ethics, when I enrolled in this course, I already had in mind an idea that this will be talking of the good things and probably the bad things of practicing librarianship as profession. Firstly, learning professional ethics is very interesting. You get to speak and stand for what you believe in. It makes you think, weigh, and evaluate the things that you have done in the past. It acts as a guide for your actions that you are about to do in the future, but most importantly in the present time. Whether they may be at home, in your community, your school, or most importantly, your workplace. Yes, I have done a lot of things in the past that were, if you're going to assess now, unethical. And I'm not ashamed of those actions because I believe that those helped me realize things that must have been done correctly and properly. But according to the situation, I saw them as the right actions to be done, and that was according to my morals. Next, learning professional ethics is inspiring. Inspiring in the sense that whether you are at home, in your community, or at your workplace, you have to do the right things, and you have to do the things right, with or without the supervision of someone who is higher than you. You get to work wholeheartedly and with passion because they are the right things to do. And by working the things right, it's just an added value to what you have been contributing to your work. And I just have some thoughts in mind that why are those people who are working beyond the hours are still being so proud of extending their time working? Do you consider it ethical or unethical? For me, I agree with the document that I have read that said, when an employee is working beyond the hours, he or she is either working or not working effectively and efficiently. But I understand too that there are many internal and external factors that are involved, and each one of us is entitled to his or her opinion as long as you have the stand to justify your points. Lastly, learning professional ethics is mind-changing. It is mind-changing because it helps you see the other side of the case or the coin. It shifts one's perspectives of the things for the good side. And with that, I can say that the good of all people is the center of ethics, because if you are working professionally and ethically, you are already functioning beyond what is expected of you. Working professionally and ethically is way far beyond already. Way far beyond, because if you are that person, you are considered a servant. Not just a good servant, but a highly respected servant, as you are functioning the way you should be, without thinking of anything but to work with dignity, to work with conscience, to work with the goal in mind that whatever you are doing is for the good of the organization, the community, but most of all, the good of humanity. Now, with those learnings, I can say that learning ethics will transform you. And I can gladly say that my perspective towards the good of humanity is amplified. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have learned something on our presentation. Please like our page, Benguet State University, Master of Library and Information Science. Thank you and have a great day.